Data Handling in Foundation Phase Mathematics. Theme 5. Collect, sort, draw, read, and represent data. Group 2.
Our theme has been divided into two main concepts. 1. The collection and organization of data into lists, tallies, and tables. And 2. The representation and analysis of data in pictographs and bar graphs. The progression of data handling concepts. In Grade R, learners collect and sort physical objects from their everyday lives. They draw pictures of what they collect and they discuss it with their teacher. In Grade 1, they further their skills by using real data. The learners will collect and organize data about their class or their school and then represent their data findings. One-to-one pictographs are used for representing data in Grade 1 and Grade 2. The learners analyze the data by answering questions. In Grade 3, the learners either collect data on their own or organize data that has been supplied to them by the teacher using lists, tallies, and tables. The learners represent that data using either pictographs or bar graphs and then analyze the data by answering questions.
Our concept is categorized under the greater theme of data handling. The essence of this theme is gathering and recording information before forming an analysis of said information and then going on to represent it in a way that is meaningful to your intended audience. In the classroom, this theme could be taught by the learners collecting and sorting everyday objects as the teacher asks of them. This process could proceed as follows. Sort by color, size, or shape. A picture can then be drawn of the objects. The collection can be described verbally, or data can be represented in a graph. Learners could be given a graph and answer questions on what they are given.
John Grant was one of the first intellectuals to use numbers to analyze society. In Natural and Political made upon the Bills of Mortality, he analyzed data from the Bill of Mortality. The Bills of Mortality were records of births, deaths, and cause of death in the City of London. This data was gathered in order to keep record of and document various inventions. As society progressed, so did the need for data. For example, the census began in the 1800s, and because the census was gathering even more data, an effective data collection and processing procedure was required. Herman Hollerith noticed this and created the Hollerith tabulating machine, which was used to tabulate data collected during a census.
Data handling is an incredibly concrete theme in mathematics since it is based on events which learners can see in their everyday lives. This also means that it is an excellent way of teaching learners to use critical thinking skills. However, it is important that certain rules and procedures are followed. There are also particular properties of data handling that teachers need to fully understand before they can begin to teach the content effectively. These rules, procedures, and properties ensure consistency in the learner's education and their development of mathematical knowledge. By setting structured boundaries and guidelines while planning to teach the theme, a greater opportunity for learner success is created. The result is that teachers promote deeper understanding and the development of critical thinking skills in truly well-rounded learners.
The rules in place for data handling in the foundation phase vary from activity to activity, as different activities will require data to be represented in different ways. It's the duty of the teacher to ensure that the results expected of the learners are made clear to them in advance. Setting rules might sound anything like the following. Be sure to only count the blue marbles. Your data must be represented as a bar graph, not a histograph. Arrange your data from the lowest number of sweets to the highest number of sweets. Remember to write your answers in centimeters, not millimeters. The procedures for data handling in the foundation phase are, however, more consistent throughout activities. The procedure for data handling works as follows, regardless of class, phase, or activities. Step 1. Identifying the problem. Step 2. Collecting the necessary data. Step 3. Data presentation. This is for students to make sense of the data they have collected. Step 4. Graphical presentation. This is for outside parties who are not involved in steps 1 through 3 to make sense of the data. Step 5. Data analysis. This is when students interpret the data they have collected and presented. Step 6. Conclusion. This step is a culmination of all previous steps.
In mathematics, a property is a characteristic or a quality of something. The different properties of data handling can be described as follows. Collecting data means that learners gather information based on a specific topic. Sorting of data is arranging the gathered information systematically so it is easier to understand and analyze. Learners will then need to represent their data in either a bar graph or a pictograph, as visual or graphical representation of the data makes it easier to understand. Lastly, they need to interpret the data, which is the process of giving meaning to the information being gathered and deriving a conclusion based on the findings.
Data handling refers to collecting a set of data and sorting said data by presenting it in a different form. For example, collecting data and presenting it in the form of a bar graph. Data handling is a mathematical concept utilized daily, often without realization, especially in real life. Data handling is a crucial skill as it enables adults to identify patterns and trends, make sense of information, and plan and predict for the future. Data handling is a process in which one first needs to identify the problem, then collect the data, present the data numerically, present the data through graphs, analyze the data and results, and conclude on the results. Thus, data handling is essential as it forms part of adults' everyday lives, especially in terms of moving houses, recording temperatures for the purpose of COVID compliance, and grocery shopping.
Although data handling is only allocated a small percentage of attention and time during the teaching and learning of foundation phase mathematics, it is a content area that is not only crucial to develop in terms of later mathematics, but also in terms of introducing learners to real-world statistical situations and consequently aiding in developing their critical thinking skills. The introduction to formal data handling that foundation phase learners are exposed to forms a critical foundational knowledge basis that is necessary for the later learning of data handling. It is thus necessary that foundation phase teachers acquire ample knowledge and experience related to data handling and the facets thereof, so that they are adequately equipped to lay a foundational basis for the later teaching and learning of data handling in future phases of their learners' academic careers. Teachers in the foundation phase should be careful not to assume that data handling is unimportant due to its time allocation as per the CAPS document. Foundation phase teachers need to be appropriately informed as to what is expected of learners in terms of the content area of data handling, so that they can plan lessons and activities that are grade and developmentally appropriate, actively involve learners in the facets of the data handling cycle, and purposefully expose learners to the correct concept terminology.